Well, welcome back to Crowley House Flower Farm and Nursery. Today I thought I would take you around the farm and nursery and just kind of show you the things that we've been doing. Keith has actually been working super hard on just getting the farm and nursery ready for our grand opening this spring. And so it's looking really good. And I thought I would just kind of show you some of the things going on. So we're gonna go ahead and start here in the little greenhouse. The other day I just popped in a few pansies and primroses around the farm, and it just makes it feel like spring is on its way. And it is. You feel it and you see it in the gardens, which is really fun to see all the new baby starts coming up. So this is where we house all of our succulents, our tropical trees. And this year we ended up putting up some more insulation around the outside just to kind of keep the heat in. And then we also just put a heater in at night that comes on when it gets, and it keeps it around 40 degrees in here. So all of them are looking amazing, other than a few things. They're just, pittering out. But we have our geranium cuttings in here as well. We actually have a few lemons that I need to pick them and actually do something with them. But everything is looking really well in here. We've been taking really good care of it. And this is the first year I've actually had time to kind of devote to things like this. And it's just been so nice having Keith coming and doing all the things to make the farm look so good, and then allow me to do some of the other things that I used to enjoy doing. And now I'm back to it. So it's been really nice. So here in the circle garden and the garden beds just up at the house, we've just been working through them, weeding some, and then we just ordered in some compost and some fresh bark. And these beds are still in the works, obviously. We are just starting to now cut things down and kind of mulch and rejuvenate them. You can see tons of new little starts coming in. It is looking amazing. And we also have some plants coming in on Friday for the nursery, and some of those plants are actually going to go into these garden beds because that's part of the purpose of us doing this, so people can actually see them in beds and how they work together and the color combinations and everything like that. So these beds, we have plenty of time. This is January. We have plenty of time to get these juiced up, and as I go about, I'm going to show you guys the gardens as we get them beautified. Here in this garden bed, we're kind of between we have some David Austin roses over here and we have some here. But this little spot here, I'm actually gonna turn back into a garden, more of a show garden for folks. And then along the edge here where we have these beautiful ponderosa pines, we're gonna create a little pathway that's gonna actually take folks on and around the garden center, or this little garden spot. So it'll be a nice peruse, basically. You'll be able to walk all the gardens, come around, and just be able to really get in and see things and get some combinations. So coming around here is our cool garden, which it's no longer really that much shaded. So this year I'm gonna have to do some work on this. But we've kind of just whacked everything down, got it cleaned up, and now we're ready to really assess what we need to put in here, which we have, like the hellebores are starting to bloom, which are really pretty. And then we have some foxgloves that are going to be absolutely stunning this year. This time of year we have to work on just slug bait and controlling things like that, which is hard to just remember. You have to put it on a schedule. The hellebores are looking good. You can see the irises are starting to come up, and yeah, it's just, everything's still really asleep. So over here, we ended up cutting, this is the time of year we cut the elderberries down. We did take cuttings and are propagating those in order to create another fence. We'll probably do a fence up at the Orchard Heights house as well. Super easy to grow from cuttings, but we went ahead and cut those down, mulched it. We've got some spring bulbs coming up. They're already pushing through this. This becomes this beautiful space in spring. And then as the elderberries grow up, they become this huge fence, which is kind of fun. Keith has just done a really nice job of just clearing this area, getting it cleaned up and ready for the season, because this is where people first come in. So we'll be, you know, this is what they're going to see. And we want it just really, really pretty as they drive in. So it'll look good once things start really blooming, but this is definitely a winter tour. Okay, so in the studio, I thought I'd take you in really quick, but I just popped in some pansies, petunias. On the outside, we have our sign. We need to take down the Christmas lights. They're already starting to droop, but I thought I'd take you inside really quick. Hi.
Hi.
So Riley has been in here working on brides, right?
Yes.
Weddings.
That is my job. I had a meeting yesterday with the bride, so I just had some extra flowers, set out their bud vases. Yeah.
Is the trend kind of staying with bud vases this year still?
I think it's a lot
seeing?
of different stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. It's going around.
It's going around?
Yeah.
Bud vases or not bud vases?
I think people are still using them, but I'm still seeing normal arrangements too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, really thankful Riley's been working in here. It looks really cute. We've just, this is also where we're like seed planting or seed organizing and planting schedules and all kinds of stuff, which I need to bring that to you in another video. But Keith and I have been working really hard on that together. And this year I've been able to do a lot more of that than I have in the past. Okay, so up here at the house, right across from the studio, is another little garden that needs some love. I've moved a couple of roses here, and then we have a whole bunch of daffodils, narcissus coming up, and I think there's some tulips in here, bluebells. There's a whole hellebore garden and more of a shady looking, like some ferns and things like that we have going here. This garden, we had some like beautiful, I think it's a French lavender. It's really tall and a light blue, but it doesn't get enough sun, so it kind of like wants to lean a little bit, so I need to take that out. Yeah, this is kind of just at the front of the house. I have some plans to put a few more tulips in, which I had just a couple bags left over, so I think I'm just gonna pop them in here, see what they do for us this year. So here is where we're just kind of have everything cleaned up for now, but this is going to be very full here very shortly. Super excited. This is going to be the start of where the nursery is going to be. We have some of our beautiful hellebores here that we're growing on, and we started these last spring. I believe this one is called Frost Kiss Anna's Red, and this is that more traditional looking beautiful one, but they're just little baby plants. And then we have over here, so we have a few more called, this is Wedding Party Flower Girl series. They're like a double. They're super pretty. They're really nice for cut flower production as well. That's what we're kind of getting as far as a lot of the stuff we have here that you could use in a cut garden. Wedding Bells, which is a white and it's a double as well. And then the last one we have is Wedding Party series, Flower Girl. Oh, that's Flower Girl. And then this one is Wedding Bells. Maybe we just have them all mixed up. Anyways, lots of pretty ones here. And we had another one. This is Mother of the Bride. It's kind of like a corally peach color undertone, but they're obviously very small baby plants. They're probably not going to be ready to sell until next year, but they look great. All right, come with me and we're going to go into the greenhouse and check that out. It is so warm in here, thanks to this guy here. So Keith and Jason worked really, really hard. We actually ended up having to have someone come out professional and readjust it and everything like that because we had some problems, but we got it working. And so at night in here, it stays about 40 degrees, which right now we don't really need it. As soon as our hanging baskets come, we will. So we're just getting ready, but they got that up and working. In here, we've been working on seeding up a whole bunch of things, and this is a stock that we are putting, that's gonna go outside. So anything that I'm seeding is things that can tolerate a little bit of cold. So you can tell they're just now coming up. We put 2 to 3 seeds per tray, or cell tray, and then we'll be putting them out really, really close together outside, but we got a whole bunch of trays here of all different colors, mainly wedding colors. Then over here, we have a snapdragons. I think we seeded those together a while back, but they're already popping through. Little tiny starts. Yeah, little baby starts. So they're just coming up. We have them really close to the lights. They're about 4 inches away-ish, just so that they don't stretch so much that they get leggy and die. We also have a fan that is rotating through here to keep the seedlings really strong. And what else do we have? Oh, out here is all the production of anemones, ranunculus, sweet peas. We have a space for the snapdragons that are going in. And then we also have a space for, we're putting in some lysianthus. So what else? Oh, over here. Over here we have more seedlings started. These are the violas that we started the other day in our video. They're already coming up and looking beautiful. I just popped them in here, keeping them watered. I need to throw them under lights pretty soon. I just need to set another tray up because we start getting to this point where everything is just like, where am I gonna put everything? Yeah, everything's coming along really nicely in here, and it's a fun place because it's so warm. Feels so good this time of year when it's bitter cold outside.
So just back here in the back section of the property, we're going ahead and burning off a lot of these burn piles that we had made last fall or into summer into the fall. We had cleaned out a lot of the edges of the property where a lot of the blackberries were and old dead trees. So it's really good to see that we are finally getting these burned off. We've had a stretch of, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks now of real dry, nice weather. And rain's in the forecast is coming up here on Friday. So only a few more days left of this really nice weather. So we're just really trying to use this nice weather to actually get all the things that we need to get done outside before the rain comes, and we'll have to move inside and finish up a few other things that we have going on as far as planning for this next spring and planting seeds, that kind of thing. It's been a lot of work on the farm. You know, Beth has kind of gone through a few different employees over the last few years, and so a lot of the bigger projects have kind of been forced to be put on the back burner. So now having me here full time every day working out here 8 to 10 hours has really definitely shown up as far as the organization of the farm and getting things that have kind of been on her plate but she just hasn't been able to get to over the years, kind of taken off that list. So it's really rewarding to work out here every day. It's so beautiful, and to actually see the progress. When you do projects like this, you really see your progress really quickly, so that's a really fun part of the process that we're in right now. So stay tuned, and we'll be sure to keep you guys updated as far as the bigger projects go here on the farm.
Keith has been really working on a project that I started a while ago, which is composting and being able to use it, because we do use a lot of it here on the farm. So out here in the far field, you can kind of tell we've really worked really hard up front, and then we're kind of slowly working our way back here. We have several garden beds that need rejuvenated, and out here we did a lot of production of the veg gardens and stuff, and we still plan to do that. We have our raised beds that we've been starting to clean out. We've got some sweet peas in. These raised beds all have flowers in them that will come back next year. I just need to pull some of them out, rejuvenate the soil, add in some of that compost. Here we have all of our tulips. This is some foxglove from last year. Some of it's gonna come back this year. So I'm gonna leave this bed. I just need to clean it up, tidy things. So that's on the list. We have crates of tulips out here outside, and then we have a little bit more tulips in here, as well as some anemones. This is also where we keep all of the lawnmowers and things like that. I'm under shelter for now until we get a barn built. This, you can tell, I just need to come in and weed it. These we overwintered they were anemones from last spring, and they have come back amazingly. Kind of got a chicken in here that kind of disturbed some of them. So there's some like patches that there's not so many anemones, but you can tell down here, I mean, look at this. Just beautifully tall and gorgeous. We've been cutting on these for a while, but they're just really producing. I just need to come through, get them cleaned up a little bit more with weeding through and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's looking good. All right, so that kind of concludes the video. We did have an area in the very back that we're not touching right yet, but that is going to be just cut flower production, and that we just have covered with a tarp right now. When spring comes, the soil dries out, it'll be all planted in flower. So I'm super excited this year, just to kind of show you guys again what this farm's gonna look like. I'm glad I kind of did this video to kind of show you in the wintertime, this kind of bare, yucky ground. The garden's kind of a mess still, things just everywhere, but it's really coming along and I'm excited for the year to come. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all the things. We'd love to have you tag along here at Crowley House Flower Farm and Nursery. And until next time, much success in all you do and grow, and we'll be seeing you shortly back here at Crowley House very soon. Bye-bye, guys.